What is going on, guys? It is Patrick here, and today I'm bringing you the Ultimate Zombie Map Challenge finale. It's been a long time, but we're finally to this. So, we're not bringing you 2 maps today, we're actually bringing you 3. And how this is going to work, we first have to backtrack to the semifinals. So first off, we had Mob of the Dead and Ascension. Mob of the Dead won 64-36. We then went over to Origins versus Durice, where Origins won, in my voting, 52-48. However, Durice made a comeback to win 52-48 in your guys' voting systems, which means it was a 50-50 tie, causing us to have 3 maps in the finale. That's right, we have Mob of the Dead, Origins, and Durice. 3 great maps. Now, how the voting system is going to work for this is going to be much different. So what's going to work is my vote doesn't count. I'm going to give you guys information, tell you what I think, let you know what is perhaps a better map, but ultimately it's going to come down to you. So if you want to know how your vote can count, watch all the way to the end of the video where I give you instructions, guys. But that is it for me. If you could drop a like for this, that would be great. But anyways, guys, let's get into this. This is the Ultimate Zombie Map Challenge finale. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to be looking at is setup. And basically what this is, what map is more fun to prepare to make it to a high round. So when you're getting your guns, you're getting your perks, opening doors, getting points, all that sort of deal. What map's more fun to do that? And I feel like this is pretty even, but each map has its pros and cons. So Origins is, there's so much stuff to do. You don't have to do it all if you don't want to, but it's pretty freaking good. You got the staffs and just everything. But it takes a long time. Mob of the Dead also takes quite a long time. Not as long as Origins if you want to do everything on Origins, but you have to do a lot of stuff on Mob of the Dead, making it, kind of a hassle sometimes. Durice is way at the other spectrum. It's really, really easy to do everything. But, sometimes that gets boring. Sometimes we want a big setup. We want a 2-hour-long game to just do stuff and have fun with a team. So overall, it really depends what you're trying to go for. Every map has its own thing, but I would say that Origins is the best setup simply because there's so much stuff to do, but you don't have to do it. You don't have to build the ultimate staffs if you don't want to, but they're there if you want to. The next thing that we're going to look at is post setup. And basically what this is just how fun it is to get to a high round. How many different options you have of doing things in different areas, different places to train, to camp, or whatever. And I feel like Origins is the big loser here. And the problem with it is there's only really one effective strategy, and that's to train. You can go in places to camp, but it really doesn't work. Whereas with Durice and Mob of the Dead, there's so many different spots you can train. Especially, obviously Mob of the Dead has more, but Durice, for such a small map, there's a couple areas you can train, or you can just do a full map train, and both of them have great camping spots as well. And I feel like that's what makes a great map, is having not only good training spots, but also good camping spots. So I would say it's a tie between Durice and Mob of the Dead. The last thing that we're going to look at for gameplay aspects is the difficulty. And when you're looking at what difficulty you want it to be really in the middle. If it's too hard, it's frustrating. If it's too easy, it's boring. And all of these 3 maps hit it well, but I think Durice hits it the best. Mob of the Dead and Origins just have so much insanely overpowered crap, like the shield, the ice staff, the wind staff, the combo with the vitrolic withering, electric cherry. It's insanely easy to make it to a high round. It's just really, really overpowered. Whereas Durice is, I think, a little on the more difficult side compared to most maps, but it's not so hard that you're frustrated. You can make it to a high round as long as you're a good player and you're smart. So for this, we're going to give it to Durice. Alright guys, so now we're going to move on to innovative things that they put into the map. And I think the first thing that we're going to look at are perks. Now, Mob of the Dead had Electric Cherry, Origins had the Wonder Fizz machine. And although it wasn't an actual new perk, it was something extremely innovative for perks. However, at the same time, Mob of the Dead did have an actual new perk. Now, Durice is totally out of it because they didn't have any new perks, but I think you'd have to give it to either Mob of the Dead or Origins, and I'm going to let you guys call that one on your own. From here, though, we're going to look at guns, and again, Durice is kind of out. They had the monkey bombs. That's really it. The Wonder Waff was introduced in Shinonuma, so that doesn't count. Nothing really going on there. But Mob of the Dead had the Vitrolic Withering Blundergat, all its variations, and the Hell's Redeemer / Retriever, my personal favorite weapon in Black Ops 2 Zombies. However, again, Origins, 4 elemental staffs, and then you can upgrade them to 4 insanely amazing OP staffs. I'd be crazy if I didn't give it to Origins, even though my love for the Tomahawk wants it to go to that. We gotta go Origins. The next thing to look at are bosses. So Jarice's Hellhounds are automatically out because they were from Shinonuma, but we have the Panzer Soldat from Origins and Brutus from Mob of the Dead, and those guys are just so similar. I think it really comes down to your preference of which one you hate less, because they were just so annoying bosses. I really don't want to give either one credit because they were just so similar, but I think it would come down to those two for innovativeness, unfortunately. I don't like either of those bosses very much. And last but not least, we have an overall take on the map for innovativeness. And guys, if you were to ask me, I would say that these are, funnily enough, the top 3 most innovative maps in Call of Duty history. Darice, Pack-a-Punch. I always argue this, most innovative thing in zombies ever. Then you have Mob of the Dead. You have the Hell's Redeemer, the Hell's Retriever. You have the Golden Spork. Fly to the Golden Gate Bridge with all these buildables. Amazing. And then you have Origins with all these staffs and the chests and the giant robots, different weather going on. It's the shovels. There's so much to all these maps. It gets my zombie blood flowing. Pun enough there. But it is just amazing. And I love all 3. And it really comes down to your preference here, guys. But I got to go, for my personal vote, is to Mob of the Dead. From here, guys, we're going to look at storyline. And this is pretty interesting. So, Mob of the Dead had the first endable storyline ever. The first map where the storyline actually ends. You're these gangsters on Alcatraz Island. You're just this infinite loop. Really, really deep stuff going on there. Origins, so mind just changing to what zombies was and is and whatever, that it was just took everyone for a loop, whether you liked it or not. Darice, not as big, but it was the beginning of everything, and that just deserves so much as well. And again, guys, this really comes down to your personal preference, and I don't think I can pick one. I would say Darice is probably less than the other 2, and it really depends on which one you like more between those. I'd go Mob of the Dead, though. And last but not least, guys, we have our zombie bonus round, and this is really interesting. So you have Mob of the Dead, such a great map, so innovative, so much going on. There's too much there for a zombie feel. It kind of takes away. I love it. It's one of my favorite maps ever. Exact same thing with Origins. There's so much. It feels like zombies, but when you break it down, Darice wins on this. Darice is the zombie feel factor. When you think of the zombie feel factor was based basically around that map to give these old school, awesome feeling maps a hope against all these new maps. And guys, I have to give it to Darice. There's no other way we can go around this. The zombie feel factor bonus has to go to Darice. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope I've provided you with enough information that you feel like you can make a good decision on your own. Now we get to voting. So, to make a vote that counts, what you have to do is put the name of the map that you like, a space, and a period. Nothing else, no explanation. We just want the people who are really here to have their votes counting, okay? So put the name of the map, a space, and a period. It can be Mob of the Dead, it could be Mob, M-O-T-D, or, Darice, Darice. It doesn't matter how you say it. Just make sure I can tell what map you want. Put a space and a period. Your vote will count. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you could drop a like, that would mean a lot to me. Finals, guys, the results video will be coming soon. Go follow me on Twitter, and I'll talk to you later. Peace out.